Scott Wentworth, tell me about your season.
I played Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof and Capulet in Romeo and Juliet. So it's Fathers of Daughters season for me.
Fathers of Daughters.
Yes.
So 19 seasons here at Stratford.
Yeah.
Tell me about your first season.
My first season was in 1985, and John Hirsch asked me to come and play Tom in his production of The Glass Menagerie. And I thought, what a great way to visit a great theater in a new country. Then I just stayed and, of course, met my wife Marion and became a permanent resident, then became a citizen, and here I am.
It wasn't on the festival stage.
It was not. That was at the Avon. My first season on the festival stage was the next season. And again, a complete surprise to be asked. I was literally packing my suitcase to go back home. And the phone rang, and it was John Neville, the new artistic director.
Beautiful.
And he said, would you like to play Laertes in the production of Hamlet I'm directing for Brent Carver next season? And I said, let me think about that for 1 second. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Great. And so that was the first time on the festival stage?
Yes.
Talk to me about being on the festival stage.
The festival stage is the most actor-friendly space I've ever worked in. It is the most audience-friendly space.
What do you mean by actor-friendly and audience-friendly?
As you know, and as most people who have been there know, it is a thrust stage, which means that it pokes out into the same room as the audience. The audience surrounds it very comfortably. And everything on the stage that Tanya has designed with the balcony and the various levels is very conducive to making the actor the center of the event. It's on a very human scale. So that's what I mean when I say it's actor-friendly. Also, it's very audience-friendly because, you are in the same room as the actors. You're breathing the same air. They're not on the other side of that picture frame. They're right there in front of you. If you're sitting on the side, it's a different play than if you're sitting on the other side. And if you don't have anything particularly to say in a scene in a proscenium house, you're encouraged to be upstage. And at the festival, you're encouraged to be kind of around and surrounding the action. So the story changes depending on kind of who's in your foreground and how they're reacting to the play. So it's a human space. It's a much more human space than a lot of theaters have.
You get to watch backs a lot.
That's right.
And it's a fabulous thing.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it can really be a wonderful thing. I saw Fiddler. I adored it. I adored it. And I particularly loved the scene where you asked her if she loved you. It's usually the woman saying to the husband, "Do you love me?" But Tevye asks that in such a raw, vulnerable. The patriarch, leader of the family, is so vulnerable.
He's an unconventional person, even at the beginning of the story. He talks to God the way one might talk to one's horse or talk to yourself as you go about the day. So even though he is in many ways a very conventional character in his as a person, in his religious beliefs, in his belief in tradition, and the man's place in the family, the woman's place in the family, how the society works. He's very conservative and very conventional, but he's interested in people, and he's interested in communication, and he's interested in all sorts of things. So he's also unconventional. But he gets this notion in his head about love, and it's a world not unlike Romeo and Juliet, where their marriages are arranged by adults for the furtherance of the community as a whole, rather than being based on the human heart and what's best for the individual emotion at that moment.
And what about this production at this time, in either Romeo and Juliet or Fiddler? Why this production at this time? I understand, yes, Anthony Cimolino has programmed it.
Sure.
But there's something beyond that.
I think so. Tevye's grandson, who we meet as a little infant at the end of the play, they immigrate to America in 1905. I think that the original audience for Fiddler in 1964, they were those people grown up. It's become so familiar to us and kind of cozy. And I didn't think it was cozy when they wrote it. And I bet it wasn't very cozy to see it 20 years after the Holocaust.
No.
I bet it wasn't very cozy.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be edgy. I wanted it to feel as kind of raw and difficult as it must have been intended before it kind of just became part of our culture. And so, we play it on a rough wood set.
Yes.
We try to honor the the reality of what that life was like and what the writing is.